move to leash pressure. When dogs come in this world wanting to be in balance in their body. So just like you or I, if I were to pull on your arm, you would automatically counterbalance so that you could stay in balance and not fall over. If I were to grab the back of your collar, shirt, and pull you back, you're going to lean forward, again, to counterbalance so that you would stay in balance in your body. We call that oppositional reflex. It's not because the animal is oppositional, it's because when we pull, they need to move the opposite direction in order to stay in balance in their body rather than to be just pulled over. So the natural dog behavior is you pull on the leash because you want them not to pull, you want them to come back to you, and their natural instinct is to want to stay in balance in their body and stay forward. Right? One of the things that I'm going to teach the dog is that when the leash is tight, their job is to come back to me. I don't know if you can see, I'm going to put the other leash on. He's wearing a harness. It doesn't matter whether it's a harness or a collar. When the leash, you can look at the clip on the leash, is like that, there is pressure on that harness. His instinct that he's been taught is to move back so that it's flat against his body. So when it's like that, which is flat against, let's have you sideways, mister. It's good. Sit. When it's flat against his back like that, there is no pressure on that clip. It's a tactile cue for the dog that good things are happening. When, SpRkyl, sit. When the clip goes, when the clip goes like that, there's pressure. And that means they feel the difference between that and that. For us, we only consider it pulling when it hurts us. For the dog, it's pulling as soon as the weight of the clip changes, whether it is on their harness or on their collar. So a clip hanging down on their collar is a good thing. When it starts to move horizontal, that means there's pressure. The weight is different. The same thing with a front clip harness. When it's hanging down, it's a good thing. When it's slightly horizontal, it means there's pressure. And the same with the back clip. You can see that he's there. Now we're loose, but we have been tight at various times. I do not extend my arms. He can choose to come back into leash pressure, into no pressure, or he can pull, and I'm not going to go with him. So one of the first things that we're going to do is we're going to teach him that moving to leash pressure is a good thing. How I'm going to teach this is I am going to put 2 or 3 pieces of food in a bowl. He is allowed to have that. And then I'm going to pull back on his harness or on the leash. And when he moves away, he's allowed to have the food. When he comes back to me, I am going to pay heavily with better food. And I'm going to make sure that the clip on the leash is flat. So it's not fair if the clip is always like that, because then he never knows if it's a good thing or a bad thing. So, come here, base. I need to also get some other food ready, because it's disengagement pattern game. You guys have learned this already. It's go out and eat the lousy stuff and come back to me for the good. So relatively short leash. He gets to eat it. I'm putting pressure on the leash. And when he comes back, I make sure that clip is flat, and I'm paying him multiple pieces of food for coming back to me. We're going to do it again. I'm going to throw some kibble in there. I know, you like this game, don't you? So it's good food, Mama. Good. So you saw that the clip got tight and he automatically came back to me. That's what we want. So, food, tight, comes back, good, comes back to me, multiple pieces of food. with me because the leash is loose. The clip is flat against his back. If you have a mobile device, you could blow this up and look at it. I'm going to do it again. Hang on, babes. I think we're going to go sideways so they can see. He's eating. It's tight. He comes back to me, and it's flat against his back. He is allowed to eat the food. At this point, I am not pulling him away from the food. And you just saw him go and look at the bowl, and as soon as the leash became tight, he automatically came back to me. That is move to leash pressure. It's not about the dog never making the leash tight. It's about the tight leash being a cue to loosen it up. One more time, the food in the bowl, just so you guys know, the food in the bowl is just to keep him on a tight leash for a moment, because otherwise there would be nothing to see. Are you ready? I know, that's what I'm going to do. Food in the bowl, tight leash, comes back to me, good boy, good. Ideally, would I like him to stop eating in the middle? Yeah, but we're not there yet. Get that one. Whoa, okay, now we're going into a different game. Good, good boy. So he tried to go for the food that I dropped. I didn't extend my hand. The leash got tight, so he came back to me. And I'm giving him good food for paying attention to me. And now when he's stopped thinking about that and focusing on it, we are going to go there and get it on a loose leash. Good boy. And now he thinks he's found some chicken. Good boy. Okay, so once again, move to leash pressure. Short leash. Do not do this with the full extension of your 6-foot leash. You will not be successful. Food in the bowl, he can eat it. Good stuff happens back at me, and the clip is flat on his back. And that's it. Go hop it up, please.